September 9th, 2025, regular council meeting to order at 6 o'clock. And if no one speaks, hold the whole meeting. We'll be out of here in 20 minutes. So.
Right on.
See, you came early today, so you're here longer already.
Yeah.
So if you didn't come early, you would be here a long time. So we have a short agenda, but that probably meets a big agenda next time, so we're happy to have a short agenda and we'll have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. I believe there's no amendment or additions. Deputy Mayor?
I move the council adopt the agenda as presented.
Call the vote. All in favor? That is carried. We have the adoption of item 4, adoption of the minutes of the August 26, 2025 regular council meeting. Go ahead.
I move the council adopt the August 26, 2025 regular council meeting minutes as presented.
Comments? No? Okay, I'll call the vote. All in favor? That is carried. And I do want to welcome everybody here in the gallery and live stream, and just want to introduce voices you might not, you'll hear the voice, but you might not know who it is, and I think you'll see her acting CEO, Amanda Riley, is on screen. Director of Community Services, Nicole Asen, will likely say something, and you'll hear her, but I don't think you can see her. And Alexa Ross is our Economic Development Officer. On the left is Jocelyn and Alicia, making sure we're all recorded right, and Lisa keeps the live stream going for your viewing pleasure. So with that, we have the CAO report. And this is great, like I've never seen. It was a busy CAO report last week. So first of all, do you have anything to add to your CAO report?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you have any comments on this?
Yes, I see the CAO report mentions the tourism video. So I want to apologize for our last meeting. I should have mentioned it and didn't. But for any of you that have not yet seen it, it can be found on the website, Didsbury website, under Dev Y Didsbury. It covers all 4 seasons, and it is an excellent video. So I do encourage you to watch it. That would be my comment.
Okay. Go ahead, Councilor Windsor.
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I'm wondering if we couldn't get an update on where we are with the East Reservoir, and also on the 10th Street into Valderosa, the update on where we are with that, if it's on time,
Okay.
on budget.
Amanda, do you want to address that?
Sure. Well, so to start with the reservoir, if you go over to the large hole, some of the concrete has been poured, and so that project is ongoing, and there's not much else to report on that. I think we can, if Craig's here next meeting, or we can provide something in the CAO report with more information. And 10th Street or Range Road, which turns into Range Road 15. That's not a town of Didsbury project, that's a developer that's running services to their land. So that project is at the developer's cost, and it's not for the town to be on budget or anything like that, because it's not our project, it's the developer's project. Or did you have any other specific questions related to that?
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. Just wondering if there's been any complaints about the detour going in and around that construction. And I know I've had a couple of phone calls. I wondered if there's any in the town office.
For sure, there's been questions about the detour, especially early when it first occurred. it is a significant detour, especially for those, like the residents of Valrosa have, can still access 10th Street and take a back alley onto Valrosa Drive. And then for Rosebud Bay residents, they do have to go out of town and take the Range Road back into town. So, yes, there's been a couple questions about the detour. Unfortunately, it is necessary to get, once the construction's done, we'll have services up to a new subdivision, and we'll have an improved driving surface as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, you're a busy person. Holy mackerel. The stuff that you've done here, wow, a lot of work, and that's awesome. One question, I noticed they had put some flags up on West Hill Road and 23rd Street. There's a corner that's really rough. And I wondered if they had plans to do that soon, to correct that corner. It's like really, have you heard anything about that one?
Through the chair.
Huh? Through the, well, yeah.
You're looking right at her, asking her the whole question. Remember, Councillor Windsor did that last meeting. Amanda, do you have any response to that?
I'm just going from memory, but is that the
Where the
project that's on the capital budget?
Where the manor is, yeah. I believe, yes.
There is a capital project in that area. I'm thinking it's what you're referring to. So there's still plans to get that completed.
Okay, nothing current, that's fine. Nothing current. I just question if it was on the map, to do.
Yeah.
That's all, yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty rough. I'll be in a chiropractor next week because of it, I think.
Don't say that.
But this is awesome. I mean, you obviously didn't sleep much because this is a lot of work, and I thank you. I appreciate that, Amanda.
Well, through the chair. And I'll give kudos to our economic development officer for all that. The document in the report, that's our economic development officer attending those. So
Right.
we'll pass that on to her.
Sure, just maybe a comment. Really impressive economic development report, and 6 businesses in the quarter in the summer. That's just pretty, well, spring, I guess it was April to June. That's very impressive, and I know that we were at a lot of the ribbon cuttings and things. It's so exciting to see such unique and creative businesses coming to Disbury. I think it makes us more interesting than a lot of places. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I just want to address that too, further to Councillor Windsor's questions, that Town Council has a policy on road closures, and if anybody wants to reference that, I think there certainly can go on our website, and those policies are posted. So how that happens, that development is certainly gets in our way sometimes, but it's not in our way for long because it's a great addition to the community. So when we see the road closures, if anybody, certainly call the town office, but read our policies, and that helps to understand how roads are closed and for what projects and when. So with that, I guess we need a motion to accept the Chief Administrative Officer report as information. Go ahead.
I move the council accept the Chief Administrative Officer's report as information.
All right, call the vote. All in favor? That is carried. We have bylaws and policies, item 7. And we have 7.1, rescinding DOSCA policies, the Disbury Out of School Care Association policies. Does Nicole want to speak to any of this, or are they just here for questions if we have any? Because we can have the motion first, of course.
Yeah, we don't have anything to add outside of what's in the RFD. We do ask that each of the motions is a separate motion.
Okay, so we have 3 motions here. Okay,
I move that council rescind CS-102 Disbury Out of School Care Association DOSCA policy.
any questions? Whoever makes a motion gets the first opportunity.
No, thanks.
Councilor Windsor, any questions?
Thank you, Rhonda. I just, there are some outstanding loans to that program, and I'm wondering what happens to them now with the rescinding and the direction that council made last meeting.
Amanda?
Well, the internal loan for DOSCA that exists, there's actually 2 things, just backing up. We'll have to close the year end for 2025. And then we'll determine if there's a surplus, we broke even, or a deficit potentially in that department again. And so depending on what happens there, if there's a surplus, it could be applied against the loan. If there's a deficit, council would have to determine how to fund that. And the loans that exist, the internal loans, they still exist. And so until we close out the year end, I would recommend that they stay as they are. And then we determine the amount of them and whether or not there's a potential you may want to write off any excess loan, which is really just recognizing that over the years there were accumulated deficits in that department. Or alternatively, you may keep them on the books to acknowledge that that had occurred in the past, to keep kind of a record of that, the loan that occurred. It's internal, so it's charged to yourself. It's impacting the accumulated surplus of the financial statements. It's not like a true loan to any other entity.
Thank you. My question was answered.
Okay. So I will call the vote to rescind CS 102, the DOSCA policy. All in favor? That's carried. Go ahead.
Thank you. I move that council rescind CS-103 summer fund policy.
Comments? Councilor Badrick?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Call the vote then to rescind CS 103 summer fund policy. All in favor? That's carried. Go ahead.
I move that council rescind CS-101 Didsbury Out of School Care Association DOSCA reserve policy.
Comments? Councilor Badrick? You're pretty busy over there. Yeah. Wait till you sit still. I call the vote to rescind CS 101, DOSCA reserve policy. All in favor? That's carried. That's a lot of paper. They were very good policies, by the way, as you know. Okay, we have item 8, business. No, item 7.2. CRUN 001-25, council remuneration and professional development policy. So I think I'm going to have administration to speak to this if there's anything to add other than what's in here. It looks like some good research was done. And if you have nothing to add, that's fine.
Well, just I'll give a brief summary of this. We are looking for council. This is brought here to consider the professional development budget for each council member. And then we would incorporate that value into the policy, which we've gone through for the last couple of meetings and a committee of the whole meeting. So the policy itself is here, and all the changes that you've gone through have been incorporated. And I think this last piece is just to add the professional development budget that you would consider for each council member. And if you look through the agenda package, you can kind of see the expected cost based on an assumed location for each of different opportunity, and then a summary of a couple different combinations of those costs depending on, just to give you an idea of what a councillor might attend in any given year. And just to also give you an idea, like FCM, it depends where it's located. So in the values provided, it's assuming a flight, the cost of a flight is included. In 2026, FCM is in Edmonton, so you wouldn't need a flight. So it presumably costs less money, but it's really just giving you kind of an average or a starting point to consider. And if there's any questions, I can help answer them.
Okay, do you have questions before we formulate a motion? Councillor Windsor?
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I'm not sure that I have a question, but I have a comment. So do you want the comments now as well? Or so I went back through my records just to see where I was and what I did as far as Alberta Munis is concerned, because it used to be that it was included or excluded from the PD reporting. And so I went back to see exactly what I did. And essentially we had $4,500 in PD, and then Alberta Munis was, depending on where it was located, whether it was the Spring Caucus, obviously, and the convention, whether it was in Edmonton or Calgary, but it averaged out to just over $4,000. So if you added that to the $4,500, then I would think that from a councillor point of view for professional development, if we're doing all-inclusive, should be $8,500. That would be my suggestion. Do it however. And then the mayor I would suggest be more, there's a lot more training that has to be undertaken for a mayor. And yeah, should be a higher rate. By, I would say, $2,000, just like we have right now.
Aswick?
Thank you, Mayor. I agree with Councillor Windsor on that point, and that would be my follow-up comment. Thank you.
Okay.
I agree. I was thinking the same thing. I guess with the new councillors, I don't know how much EOEP they, I think there's a pretty big learning curve, so they'll probably space them out. I think that should be sufficient. I was thinking the same numbers, 8,500 and 10,500, and certainly a new year will show whether or not that's appropriate. So I'm happy to go along with what Councillor Windsor suggests.
Do you want to comment on that? Since he went after you?
Yeah, I think it needs to be stated that this isn't actually increasing the budget of any councillor. It's just the way it's being reported, so that becomes very transparent as to what is being spent. So we're not, I'm in favor of the policy. At this point, I want to vote in favor of it. I don't like the amounts, but we're not here to discuss the amounts. But in fairness, I believe it's important that the public understands that we're not increasing the actual amount that any council would be entitled to use. We had some money that was allocated, I think, just in council expenses or budget, and that's just being brought to the line of reporting. So that's my understanding.
But the professional development budget would change on page 72 to reflect 8,500 and 10,500. But yeah, the reporting would just capture everything he did. Like they said, per diem and mileage and registration and hotels. Yeah, so that would change on here because that was not there before. But it's just capturing it. So you had a question and then...
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. In the RFD, it suggests that depending on where council decides here, that it's going to impact the 2026 budget. And it seems to me that if it's just simply reflecting what we have done in the past, with Alberta Communities not being included in the professional development, I'm wondering why it would be that it would impact the budget. It should be a wash. It should be just different, recorded in different places is all. That's what I believe. And so I'd like clarification on whether that's the case.
Well, we have to remember that council reduced the council budget by $30,000 for this 2025 operating budget, and then maybe Amanda has some other comments to add.
Yeah, I think that this likely will increase the budget slightly if all the councillors use their full allotment. So right now we budget based on what we expect you to use, and we know after 8 years of being on council typically what there's some who use it and some who don't. So not your budget right now reflects that. It doesn't reflect the full amount of 4,500 plus Alberta Munis. Like that would add up to, for 7 councillors, $61,500, and only a portion of that goes to like wages, your remuneration. So thinking about the actual professional development budget, there is a potential that it'll increase. However, setting the budget is still separate from what the policy says. So you can set the policy, and the new council, once they review the budget, they may decide to change that or alter it for the what is actually budgeted and approved in the budget. So this, there's what you put in the policy and what gets approved in the budget could be 2 separate things.
And we are being encouraged to submit our plan, professional development plan. Plus, are you basing that, like the 30,000 was to account for 2 absent council members? So we're anticipating, well, that will be in the budget discussions, whether or not that gets returned back into the budget, because with a full slate of 7.
Yeah, I mean, that was for the remuneration of those council members as well as professional development. So with all 7 councillors, like when we bring the budget forward, we're going to bring it as 7 councillors for the full year. So there may be adjustments that are needed compared to 2025.
All right, I think that answers. Is there any other questions? So the motion would be then to approve COUN 001-25 council remuneration and professional development policy as amended, and that would be to include the 8,500 and the 10,500, And I just have one other question too, that, or not question really, it's a comment, that these aren't in stone, what's on here, they're interchangeable with professional development opportunities, so they're just examples of what that would all add up to. So if you pick line 4, you don't have to go to those things. You can change them. So is that, someone want to make that motion? Then there might be further discussion, because right now we're just talking about this
And Mayor.
professional development fee.
Sorry. And could we also have the motion, could we have you approve the professional development budget in one motion and then rescind the old council remuneration policy effective October 21st? And then approve the new council remuneration policy effective that October 21st as well? So 3
Okay,
separate.
so we'll let you list the motion.
Okay.
We'll have someone make it.
So to start with, to approve a professional development budget of $8,500 for counselors and $10,500 for the professional development budget for mayor.
Who would like to make that? Councillor Windsor?
Thank you for wording
Is there any other discussion on that? Call the vote, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. And our next motion, Amanda?
To rescind count 001-24, council remuneration and professional development policy effective October 21st, 2025.
Okay, who would like to make that?
Can we do that prior to the election? I'm asking.
Yeah. Oh.
Is that acceptable to do that? If not, I'll do it.
Amanda just said yes, so I would trust our CEO and her advice on that.
Then I'll make that motion.
Okay. Any other discussion? Councillor Windsor?
So thank you, Mayor Hunter. There's a couple of points on the current revision that I'm not in favor of. So I'm not sure whether I vote to rescind this policy or whether and vote against the adoption of the new one, or if I vote against both ways. So I'd like some direction. Because we're just talking about rescinding right now. Once we get to the next motion, then I'll explain why I'm not in favor.
Well, if the majority vote against rescinding it, then we're back to working on the policy. But I don't see that that's going to happen. Just feeling the room, sensing what's going on in the room. So if you voted against it, it wouldn't, and I'm not trying to read the votes, but I'm thinking that if we do vote against it, then we just have to start over on the policy as it is amended with the professional development. So you wanted to say that one more time? Jocelyn, did you capture that? And what is it? Just because I talked too much in between there.
Thank you, through the chair, to rescind COUN 001-24 Council Remuneration and Professional Development Policy effective October 21st, 2025.
Okay, and we'll call the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. And then the third policy would be to approve COUN 001-25.
Or to adopt
Adopt. Yes.
effective October 21st,
Right.
2025. Or you said that.
So go ahead and just say that out loud.
Thank you.
Who's going to make it? Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, through the chair, to adopt COUN 001-25 Council Remuneration and Professional Development Policy effective October 21st, 2025.
Any further discussion? Deputy Mayor, Councillor Windsor.
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I'll be voting against this because I don't agree with 2 points in it. First of all, I think that you're penalizing the next council for not encouraging them to attend as an alternate to a commission or board. I think that it is valuable to have your alternates in the event that they're having to step in to represent the town. I think it's not doing the town good service to eliminate that possibility, and I really think that the alternative should be encouraged to attend at least 2 of the meetings so they know what's going on and they're familiar with what's happening in the commissions. And the other one is that I don't believe that it should be administration that should be reviewing remuneration forms. I think that that's the responsibility of the mayor. I think that it shouldn't be an employee approving a boss's remuneration plan. So I will be voting against this motion.
All right, thank you. Councillor Bowser? Yeah, and like I said in the past, I agree with your reservations about the alternate, because I think it does discourage participation, and I also, as I mentioned, I've talked to many mayors, and there's some mayors that sign and some that don't, so I'm interested to watch what happens in the next term, and if council wants to bring it back, then we can. Yes, Council Deputy Mayor? It was, yep.
So I think it's important to clarify that administration does not approve the expenses in a discretionary or hierarchical sense. They simply verify whether a claim complies with the established policy. So the analogy of a boss's boss approving a boss's boss, that analogy doesn't apply here. Administration is not subordinate to council in this context, nor are they exercising personal judgment or authority over councils. They act as a neutral third party, applying the policy equally and consistently without favoritism or internal politics. This creates a far more objective and accountable system than one where councillors review each other's expenses.
Sounds like you were prepared for that. You wrote that out. But I guess I just want to once again qualify that there have been no internal politics, and you might not have intended that to say that, but I believe all mayors are fair. And I believe that I'm interested in to see how this will work, so I will vote for it, because policies can always be changed if they're not working, and that's fair to move forward with that way. So I will call the vote to adopt COUN 001-25 Council Remuneration and Professional Development Policy effective October 21st, 2025. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, that's carried. All right. That was a lot of discussion for a 4-page policy. Since I can't remember what day we started that. So item 8, business 8.1, meeting with the Minister of Municipal Affairs. And once again at the AB Munis in November this year. The minister has welcomed pretty much applications, because not everybody's approved. Do you want to start? You want the motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
And then we can add if there's things to add.
I move that council request a meeting with the Minister of Municipal Affairs at the Alberta Municipals Convention, or Municipalities Convention, in November 2025.
Any comments?
Well, I wanted to comment about the items that are listed here as to what we're talking to him about. And the 23rd North on 582 project was a joint venture. I think that's important, but it also was involved a STIP grant application, and that was not successful. And I'm wondering how that's going to be tied in, and how the Minister of Municipal Affairs has anything to do with that, or jurisdiction of AT. And then the other one that I think is missing is the East Reservoir and the Water for Life program that I think that would be one of the things that municipal affairs would certainly be part of. And so that would be one I would suggest be added.
Okay. Councillor Bazard. Okay.
Yes, I know that the previous Minister of Municipal Affairs really appreciated when some of us that live a little bit closer maybe would offer the opportunity to have a meeting perhaps in Calgary at their offices there, being that some of the small municipalities don't have another opportunity. It would seem that just giving them that option would make it more palatable, and still give them the opportunity to meet with us there. They're so overwhelmed with all the me, and I need this, and I want it this way and not that way at the convention, that sometimes having a separate time is likely to give us a lot more favorable outcome. So what I would like to have added to that is the option of perhaps meeting at the, what is that place called in Calgary, that the offices that they have? It's lovely, but I don't remember the name of it. Or in Edmonton at his convenience.
Okay. I don't think it hurts to ask to meet at convention, because the minister won't meet with us if he's got a long list. So I do support that we submit that, but I'd like to add ICFs to that. That with the changes to the ICFs, that we formulate a presentation, a proposal to take with us. And I know that in the past we also presented with ICFs at, the fair and equitable funding, because they certainly have that in their text, but they don't have a way to make it equal across the board with urban municipalities. We are fortunate to have Montview County as our a supporting funder through the ICFs. So the motion, because when we submit this, Amanda, we have to have 2 or 3 topics. Amanda?
Yeah, 3 topics is what the request is.
Yeah, that's right there, sorry. So good memory and poor memory what I read. So ICF, the Water for Life, how did you fit that in with municipal affairs, right? And what would we talk about?
Well, I guess it's to me it's more of an awareness thing, that there's municipalities that are struggling with water right across the province, and I'm sure the minister is aware of that, but it's probably not paramount that it's Disbury that fits into that category as well. And so the Water for Life grant, I think that the minister has probably got some influence with regard to that, and I would like to at least broker the idea.
So no 23rd Street North, and Amanda, is there rationale for that on there?
Well, for that, and it could tie into the water reservoir funding as well, but just basically because it is a brand new minister, brand new to the role, just to an introduction to Didsbury's needs and our interests in the community and what our funding needs are, or infrastructure funding needs, and so roads are critical infrastructure, but so is water, obviously, and just introducing that more of a funding conversation, whether it's tied into the amount of funding or like the LGFF allocations or whatnot, but just mentioning that those are the type of projects on the go or needs that the community has.
And roads are in the ICFs now. So maybe we just take ICFs with a few topics, and then the I think the code of conduct's a good one. It's, see what happens there. Did you have something to say?
No, I would just, I'm glad that these questions are coming out because I agree with the 23rd Street. I think it would be important to talk about the partnerships that we had with the county and the businesses that we were going to partner with to get this road to completion. And I think it's important that that message gets there. So, I definitely agree with that, the ICFs and the Water for Life. So if I need to make an amendment, I'm prepared to do that. But I think if we agree what's inside here, then I don't know that I need an amendment, but maybe
I think the motion's fine, and then we can just tweak the letter
Tweak
to
the
include
questions.
these items.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than debate it for a further time, we can certainly create something. When's the deadline to have the response in? Friday?
I believe it's Friday, yeah.
Okay. Guess Jocelyn will be busy with the letter then. And you, could be you too, but she tends to be the letter writer. But I certainly won't approve of you writing it, yeah. However that works. So we have a motion to request a meeting with the Minister of Municipal Affairs at the AB Munis Convention in November of 2025. Call the vote. All in favor? Opposed?
I proposed an amendment.
Oh,
What was the amendment?
that could be a second motion, though.
All right.
Yeah, that if we're not,
Yeah, make that maybe, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, I'm just making a suggestion that potentially that could be a second
well,
motion.
we're going to request the meeting
Yeah,
and request a, so all in favor? That's carried.
and then you want to do the motion?
May I, Mayor?
Go ahead.
oh, sorry. Through the chair.
I move that council offer the minister an alternative to meeting at the Alberta AB Munis Convention. I'm still not getting that name right. Should it be more convenient for him to meet with us at one of the government offices?
Comments? Follow up? Councillor Baswick? Councillor Windsor?
Would that capture what Councillor Moore is trying to achieve? It's not that we don't, through the chair, it's not that we don't want to have a meeting at Municipal Affairs, but I think your concern was, or at AB Muni, sorry, if we can't get in there, can we get an alternative? And did that motion capture that, the essence of that, I guess is what I'm asking.
And the only suggestion I would have is that we request the meeting since that's approved, and if we're declined the meeting, that we follow up with an additional request. Because I don't want them to say, I would like to meet at AB Munis, and if we say, oh, but we can meet later, that's better. Let them decline our request first, and then we can follow up with another request. So subsequent to that. Thanks. Jocelyn, so council will await the response for the AB Munis Convention meeting and follow up with the appropriate letter subsequent to that. So it could be to request an additional meeting, or it could be to thank them and we'll be there.
Are you, I'm not understanding, are you saying that it wouldn't be in the letter we initially sent to him, that
Yeah, that's what I meant.
sent
I
two
want him to
letters?
decline.
No, I can't. I'm not in favor of that. The thing
Well-
is that they have expressed to us a number of times that you've seen how overwhelmed and harried they are at those conventions. I think that we need to offer that possibility to him should he prefer.
So the motion's been passed,
The first one,
the
yes.
first one. And so the second motion is
Be
what?
in the same letter that we offer, he prefer a meeting outside of the Alberta Munis Convention, that we would accommodate, yes, his preference.
Well, it's your motion. So I guess,
Is that covered? I'm happy to have.
Jocelyn, do you want to read it back?
Through the chair, may I please ask for clarification on one thing?
Sure.
Is Councillor Moore proposing that it be the provincial buildings in Calgary and Edmonton, or just Calgary?
I don't think it would matter, would it?
Okay, so moved by Councillor Moore that Council propose to the Minister of Municipal Affairs an alternative meeting location option other than the Alberta Municipalities Convention, should it be more convenient for the Minister to meet at the provincial buildings at the McDougall Centre or at the Legislative Assembly.
Go ahead.
Could we change that to if they're unable to accommodate our request
Yes.
at AB Munis? If they're unable to do that, then we would like to request the option.
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I'm wondering what the letter from the minister was requesting. Are we responding to the letter request? Because I think what the letter requesting was, do we want to have a meeting at Alberta Munis? I think that's what it's requesting, and we should be responding to that, and that's all we should be responding to. And if they can't accommodate us, and they can't schedule a time to meet with us, then we would go back to the minister afterwards and say, okay, this didn't work out. Is there a possibility we could meet otherwise? That would make sense. We should be responding to his request, and that's it.
We did.
Yes, and I agree with that, because I would like a meeting at AB Munis, and if he says no, then we can send another letter. So if you want to put them both together, I would vote against this motion, but there's a motion on the table, and I would like to wait for his response first, because why do we want to take a back seat? Let's get in there. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I don't really want to sit and argue about how it goes out. I think that we do need, as Councillor Windsor said, we do need to respond to that letter. And if it is following up with a second letter, upon refusal, I'm okay with that. We're not giving that doorway out then. It's, I understand what you're saying. We've been asked if we would like to meet with them. I think we say yes. If that doesn't work out, then we should send another letter requesting a private viewing at whichever location, Edmonton or Calgary. I'm okay with that. I'm okay either way, but I do agree that we're asked a question, we answer that question.
Further comments? Go ahead.
Again, I agree with Councillor Windsor, because the minister asked us, do you want a meeting? So that's a direct, he wants to have a meeting. So all we have to do is say yes or no. And again, as he said, if it doesn't work out, we'll follow up and say, well, what can we meet at your pleasure some time later? And that's good protocol, I think. And it worked.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I guess I was just expressing what the minister told me, so if you don't want to go with that, that's fine. I'll be voting against it.
Well,
Okay, what does the motion say though? No.
First motion.
We already voted on that
Voted
one,
on
so you could either withdraw your motion or we could vote on sending them both at the same time.
Could we have the last motion that was made with his preface on it? I don't recall what that was anymore.
Well, to make this simple, if the minister says no, he's not going to say that right away. Like it might be October 21st or 23rd, and this body here will. So if they says no, the council of the day should just ask for another meeting to comment, like at the whatever dates the minister has available. That's what I'm saying. Is that what you're saying? Like this is getting too complicated. It's
Yeah.
just we're
Yeah,
answering the
it's-
question.
I think we need to answer the question, and then I thought the second motion was that if we were not able to get a meeting, that we would then request one at Edmonton or Calgary. I thought that's what we were looking at, but I'm not sure what motion you made actually. If it were a second one or if it was a continuation of, so
And this-
that's what I would prefer.
Remember that this is a new minister too. It's not the old Minister
Yes.
McIver. This is a new minister who, it would be a great opportunity for the new council to meet at AB meetings, and if it is declined, we'll send another letter requesting a meeting. So, you can either withdraw your motion or we can have it read back and vote on it.
Do we know what it was anymore?
I don't know if Jocelyn knows, so let's see what you have.
Thank you. Through the chair, the council proposed to the Minister of Municipal Affairs an alternative meeting location option other than the Alberta Municipalities Convention, should it be more accommodating to the minister to meet at the McDougall Centre or the Legislative Assembly.
But that's in the same letter, right?
That was fine. Okay, let's vote on it. If it's voted down, I'm fine.
Consideration.
Call the vote, all in favor? Opposed? All right, that is defeated. So we can move on to capital budget amendment, Memorial Complex eaves trough repairs. And I believe the RFD is pretty thorough, so we have the motion and we have questions. Nicole, if there are any? Councillor Baswick?
For the motion,
Sure.
I move to amend the Memorial Complex eaves trough project cost to a total of $38,500, an addition of $8,500 to be funded from operating using existing funds from the complex repairs and maintenance budget, and to amend the 2025 capital and 2025 operating budgets accordingly.
Just need using excess funds, not existing. So is that all right with you, Councillor Beswick?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as it's written. So do you have any questions? Councillor Beswick? Oh,
I'm buying drinks.
I like water. No, I'm confused. So is it just that through the chair, is it that the costs of the project when we bid it, that the materials or labor has just gone up, that's why we're needing more? Or it's bigger, I guess?
Amanda?
This would accommodate more work being done. So when they came to quote the project, they recommended more work be done.
Thank you.
Councillor Windsor?
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I have a couple of questions. And maybe it's my lack of knowledge as far as commercial is concerned, but seems to me that we have materials now that don't rust, that for things like eaves trough and things like that. And I'm wondering if this is a possibility for these eaves troughing or not, and if that's been considered for them, if it is a possibility. And the second thing I would ask is that obviously we had this in our scope of work that we were going to be doing, except for these two pieces of downpipe, and how is it that they were missed when we were doing the original?
Amanda?
I'll defer the question to Nicole Mason.
Thank you for the question. Through the chair, so to answer your second question first, they weren't part of the scope of work when we were originally bidding out the job, but because some of the downspouts, specifically the one on the south side of the arena, we're looking to move the downspout to behind the new catch basin that was installed when we had some road upgrades 2 years ago. And so because we need to connect to that eaves trough, they had a good look at it and realized that probably if we're moving the downspout to it, we want to upgrade that at the same time. Otherwise, we're going to have to remove that work to replace it in future years. So it's a timing thing more than anything, that it makes good sense while they're here mobilized that we're going to get a better rate by doing this little bit of additional work at this point in time, rather than have them come back to do these in future years. And then in terms of the anti-rust materials, I'm sorry I don't have the quote with me tonight, but if council's agreeable, I can answer it in the next CAO report. But yeah, I just need to look at that.
Thank you, Reverend. And I don't know if it's even possible. Like I know that on our house everything's aluminum, so it doesn't rust. And so I don't know if that's available for commercial purposes, and maybe it's not. But if it is, then I'm not sure why we wouldn't be going to a zero maintenance material rather than having to do this again in another 20 years.
And the work would be done right away. I'm thinking that like it's a project underway.
Yeah, through the chair. So we are hoping to have them, once council makes this decision, they'll place the order and they'll be, on site probably around the end of the month is what they're expecting, kind of last week of September into early October. So this will get accomplished in 2025. It's just a little bit of additional work that we're requesting some funding that's available to use it towards that.
Those answer your questions?
Thank you.
Okay. And I have no questions. I think everybody's... Do you have another question?
Right, just a comment through the chair. I know the standard nowadays, it used to be 3-inch eaves troughs, they went to 5 for standard, and these have gone to 7. So that sounds to me like that's more commercial size. I wouldn't put a 7 on my house, but so I understand that the change, the value, the upcharge because of the size of the material would be one of it, I think.
Okay. So we have a motion to amend the Memorial Complex eaves trough project to a total of $38,500. Call the vote. All in favor? That is carried. We have 8.3. RCMP multi-year financial plan. I do have to apologize to Amanda because she did bring this up and said, Mayor, I think we need to make a motion. And I said, well, I think we did make that motion, and she was right. So my apologies, Amanda, and thanks for bringing it back. So we would like to make this motion this time.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Who hasn't made a motion lately?
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I'll move that council approve the Disbury Municipal Detachment multi-year financial plan for April 1, 2026 to March 31, 2031 in principle. Any surface level changes require approval from council prior to implementation.
Any comments?
Thank you.
Call the vote, all in favor? That is carried. And we have item 9. Council reports and meeting highlights. Deputy Mayor, do you want to start?
I have no committees left that are functioning, so very brief report. My highlight would be the CAO report with all the economic activity and positive news that carried.
Okay, Councilor Windsor.
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. The Water Commission meets tomorrow. We'll be going over a few cleanup things as well as the 2026 budget so that we can present that to councils in September or October. Hopefully we're going to have that all worked out. It's a full day meeting tomorrow, so that'll be fairly intense. River Municipal Users Group, we're making the final changes to the bylaws, and we're also doing a tour of the flood mitigation in Drumheller. And so if anybody's interested in going and seeing that, then they need to let me know so that I can book a spot. There's limited availability, but if someone would really like to see that, then I need to know that. Parkland Regional Library is doing a free conference that people could enroll in if they wanted to and then the other thing is the board meeting is later this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Baswick.
Thank you, Mayor. I had 3 meetings. One was MPC, mostly with secondary suites. That went very well. They're becoming very popular, and we encourage them to bring more business into Pittsburgh. Had a meeting with the Committee of the Whole and a special council meeting, and those were the 3 meetings that I had. As far as not much to select on this. If I can chip away at the CAO report, my comment for a portion of that would be kudos to the Economic Development Officer who is doing some pretty good things, and I look forward to that continuing. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor already took that one, but that's okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I attended the groundbreaking for Copperview on September 4th. It is pretty impressive, and we did the gold shovel thing again. There was administration got some pictures there this time too, which was really nice. And we met with Abraham and Mohammed. We have met with them before. They seem very enthusiastic about going ahead with their project. And it is going to be big. I guess the other thing would, that as far as that goes, I haven't got the key messages yet for Mountain View Seniors Housing. We had a very busy meeting, actually the same day as our last council meeting, so we have our golf tournament on Thursday, so maybe they're really busy with that. I will be there for the whole day for that, doing the hole-in-one spotting again with Norma. And so that will be really good. My highlight of the meeting is finally getting the council remuneration and professional development policy done. We don't need to talk about it anymore. And so I guess that's everything. Can't think of my meetings. The MPC is canceled. Chamber hasn't started up again. So none of those.
All right, thanks everybody. I went to the Water Commission golf tournament for the first time in 8 years because I got an invitation. It was It was great. It's in Bowden. I haven't golfed there forever. I went to the Cycling Supper. It's the Central Alberta Economic Partnership initiative with site selectors in Red Deer for the event, but the site selectors are looking around the region, so I will have a report on that in the next, about the supper, and all of the site selectors are from the States, but we had a good evening with that, and I believe our EDO went to the day sessions, which were more geared to EDOs or CAOs or planning and development. I was at the Copperview groundbreaking, very exciting. We all had gold shovels, which is thanks for that effort. I think Militia got them painted, or I might be wrong about that, or you prompted someone to paint them. And we do have official Disbury logos on our hard hats now. I appreciate that too. I was at Ponoka today at a mid-sized town mayor's caucus executive meeting that we were presented with some information about our supplementary funding that we've been working on. So that will actually be deferred probably till November as everybody works on it. And Thursday, I'm very excited to be in the Mountain View Seniors Housing Foundation golf tournament. Amanda is golfing with me, and Michael Simpson will be joining us, and our fire chief and emergency services director, Curtis Musso, because we need someone to hit the ball far. And the rest of us will do the rest of the work. So we're looking forward to that. It's always a great tournament. And I've got to remind you both that we do still have those rain checks. So anyway, my highlight is that this meeting is going to be about 7 hours and 10 minutes.
7 hours.
Well, 7 o'clock, 1 hour and 10 minutes. 1 hour and 10 minutes at 7 o'clock to 7:10. Sorry.
I have a question for you.
The question I have for you, Mayor, you said you were at the golf course with the Water Commission, right? What was your score?
Oh.
Who's went?
Well, it was a scramble. We did good. I think we got a 38-3 over par.
Really? What did you get in the second hole?
Yeah. The same. It was a nice day too. And so with that, there's no correspondence and information. We have a question period. I see Norm is here. I don't know if you have a question tonight or not. Yeah. So while Norm's getting to the table, can we have a motion to accept the council reports as information? Councilor Moore? All in favor? That is carried. Welcome. Mr. Quantz?
My name is Norm Quantz. I have a question about the feed for the council meetings online. I have not used it until last week, and it was very hard to hear everybody's comments. And I just wonder who I need to talk to about that.
The next budget.
Can I have a follow-up question then?
Yeah, no, I think we're certainly aware of that, Amanda, that we do have that, even with the mic right next to our mouths, and some of us aren't sitting up sometimes, so that would be impacting that too, but.
Okay, so it's more than just me having problem with hearing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I think we've had that in the budget for a long time, so it will be the council that has the will to do it that will see improved volume on your live stream. Thank you. Okay. We're not done yet, really. And I'm going to read this. Everybody's read it probably 3 or 4 times because I've got it in a press release, I've got it in a note from Mayor's desk, I've got it other places, and in Amanda's card. This is Amanda's last night in the CAO chair, but she'll be very close beside the CAO come future meetings. And as council went through our search to appoint our new CAO, we were very fortunate that Amanda Riley, Town of Disbury, what's going on there, Chief Financial Officer, accepted and stepped into the role to be our acting CAO. Under, I call her Ms. Riley, but I'm going to call her under Amanda's professional, exceptional, and unwavering strong leadership, the town realized many successes, experienced ongoing growth and development, and saw many completed capital projects, and as well she continued to steer the entire organization in the strategic direction of council. Okay, Amanda, we extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation to you for your commitment as acting CAO for over 6 months, all while carrying out your duties and responsibilities as CFO. I would like a picture with Amanda, all of council up here. Who's got a camera? No, it's your phone.
Hold them down a little bit. Left or right?
Put a couple on my phone.
Just the right picture.
Oh, well, that is good information. Amanda is a long drive winner, so that is good news.
Now you set a standard.
Yes, I know.
Great.
And you announced it.
So with that, I will have a motion to adjourn at 7:12 p.m. All in favor?
Oh, are you sure?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, did you?
Sure.
Yeah, I thought you did. All in favor? That is carried. Thanks, everyone, and again, thanks to you, Amanda.